monster blockbuster trade just happened a little while ago. The St. Louis Cardinals have acquired third baseman Nolan Arenado from the Colorado Rockies. The final details are being ironed out right now, but as it remains to be seen, he's going there for Lucan Baker, Austin Gomber, and John Torres, none of which are their top 5 prospects. And the reason why I think that none of them are in their top 5 is because the Rockies are also eating $50 million of the remaining $199 million for the next 6 years. So the Cardinals are basically going to be paying, almost $9 million less per season for Nolan Arenado, pretty much the best third baseman in Major League Baseball. And now he's going to be bookended with Paul Goldschmidt. But there's some ramifications in a lot of places. Number one, I think it opens up the flexibility for the Rockies to lock up Trevor Story and get him off the free agent market for next year. I think that will happen now, even though they could trade him essentially and get a haul for him too. But I think he's more apt to stay now, which can change the shortstop market next year. And this is, booking in him with Paul Goldschmidt in St. Louis, adding to what they have already. They brought back Adam Wainwright, and this talks about them trying to bring back Yadi Molina and Colton Wong too. And in my opinion, if they bring back both of them, then the St. Louis Cardinals, in my opinion, are on even footing with the Padres and the Dodgers in the National League. Period. Again, it's my opinion. They've got a lot of young pitchers and young relievers and stuff like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in a veteran starter of some capacity, but bringing in Arenado and then re-upping with some of these guys changes the game for the Cardinals and opens up the Central for them to pretty much hands down probably win the Central and go further into the postseason. So this is a huge trade for the Rockies and the Cardinals. Obviously, the Cardinals being the acquiring team, he still has 2 opt-out clauses, but I think it's going to be pushed back to 2021 and 2022. He'll waive his no-trade clause in this, but I think he still has a no-trade clause going to St. Louis as well. Personally, I don't see him opting out because I don't think he's going to get that much money, especially approaching 30 and going to 31 years old. He's not going to get that much money in the open market, in my opinion. But I just don't think he would. So it would be wise for him to stay in St. Louis, who are going to be a hell of a lot more competitive now than the Rockies would be, and he'll be in the playoff picture every single year. So, and again, putting him with Paul Goldschmidt, man, that's a murderous row right there. Those two guys, along with the other guys they have in the lineup, that's whole next level. But I couldn't wait until tomorrow to share with you guys. Those are the details we know right now. It still has to be, he hasn't officially on paper waived his no trade clause, but he's agreed to it and stuff. So there's some administrative stuff, logistical stuff that needs to happen. But as of right now, those are the 3 prospects going to Colorado, and $50 million in Nolan Arenado in exchange are coming back. So Colorado's getting a boatload of cap relief, and they're getting some prospects. Their top prospect being the Cardinals' number 9 prospect, and then a couple other ones I think in the top 15 or something like that. And the Cardinals are getting or one of the top 2 or 3 third basemen in all of baseball, and one of the elite hitters in the game too. So this is a huge trade, and I think the Rockies, like I said, will look to lock up Trevor Story sooner than later. If they don't decide to trade him to and undergo a complete overhaul, because they could very well do that, but I think they want to keep him more than they wanted to keep Arenado. And the Cardinals were just kind of primed for the taking to get this guy. And there were a couple other teams that were interested. The Braves were interested, and some other teams. But this also frees up now, more teams to be more aggressive with either Justin Turner or trading for Chris Bryant. So it takes one team off the market. And so I would look for the Braves to be a little bit more aggressive now, maybe even the Mets, the Blue Jays, maybe. So, it's gonna change the game. It's gonna change the game. So, but congratulations to the St. Louis Cardinals, and look out for more stuff. And there's a couple other things happening today. Cesar Hernandez, who's a guy I mentioned in a couple other videos, he's signed with the Cleveland Indians, and which is pretty decent move, actually. They brought in a couple of guys recently to replace, some of the money that they've lost with trading Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco in an effort to be somewhat competitive. So I still see a huge mountain to climb if they want to get past the White Sox, which I don't think anybody's going to do in the Central. But that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens there. They still have elite pitching in Bieber and Plesac. They still have Jose Ramirez. Who knows if they move him? So they still have some pieces to be pretty competitive. The White Sox, to me, are a powerhouse in the Central. And before today, the big spenders were in the National League East and American League East. Now there's some money changing hands with free agency, but the Central has been pretty competitive too on both sides in terms of making moves, whether it be free agency or trade. So pretty significant. So I would look for some of the teams in the West, aside from the Padres, who have kind of had the monster offseason, to still make some moves too. But the news for tonight, Arenado, St. Louis Cardinals, new third baseman, huge trade. Talk to you next time.